Welcome to the sixth coffee break of Trinity project and Horizon H2020 project. Today, we have the pleasure to have different Horizon projects with us. We have CROSSBOW project, XFlex, and Synergy project with us. So we will talk about synergies between these projects, but also we will talk a little bit about the Bridge Initiative, that we are part all of this European Commission initiative. Hello, everyone. Welcome.
Hey.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. So could you please introduce yourself and also explain the audience the project you are involved?
My name is Ioannis Vlachos. I'm here to represent XFlex project as well as CROSSBOW, two very interesting ongoing projects that we are working also together with ETRA on those. CROSSBOW is mainly about cross-border energy exchanges. Very interesting project, tackles a lot of the challenges also discussed and promoted by the European Commission. On the XFlex side, we're also, let's say, doing some research on the topic of flexibility and how this can be used to protect and recover the network from extreme conditions and so on. And I'm looking forward to have a coffee with you, even virtual one.
Hello, my name is Morana, Lončar. I'm coming from Croatia, from company KONCAR-KET. So I'm here as a project manager from Trinity, but Končar is involved in other projects, actually all of them that you mentioned. So here's also Hrvoje, Keko, my boss, who can present more about what we do on these other projects and connection with my project Trinity. So cheers to everyone.
Okay, so as I hope you can hear me, as Morana said, we are participating in Trinity, Synergy, and CROSSBOW. We have always seen CROSSBOW and Trinity as kind of broader projects. We have even talked like that from the very start of Trinity. Although our role in these two projects is quite different in a way. CROSSBOW, as Ioannis said, it's targeting TSOs and above TSOs, the collaboration, while Trinity focuses more on the market issues, and we play the role. We have a third party in the linked third party in Trinity project. This is the Conchar Renewables company that is an operator of our wind power plant. We own and operate a power plant. Our own role in the project is kind of similar. Synergy there is a little bit different. It goes out of scope of energy project. The rest of the project is primarily in the energy sector, while Synergy is in the digital transformation ICT call from 2019, and it's primarily big data solutions for energy, which means it focuses more on the IT side of things. Although it's quite a wide encompassing project, we can get back to that a little bit later. So.
Okay.
Yeah, I also want to highlight that I think interesting how different H2020 projects complement each other. For example, the most relevant case for Trinity is CROSSBOW. We are taking a lot of technologies from there, and also expanding to the market field, as Ioannis has said, which is one of the main points of Trinity. And for example, in CROSSBOW, we were developing a tool, a product for REST managers in order to allow them to better manage their infrastructures. And now in Trinity, we are constructing upon the basis of that product in order to facilitate the participation in different markets for these REST operators. And in fact, in Trinity, Končar will be the end user of this tool. So it is very relevant, and we're quite happy to have them here.
We actually play a dual role there, if I can say it that way, because on one side we are going to be we are going to be a user, but also just like in CROSSBOW, we are our role in CROSSBOW in several locations, in Zagreb, in Greece, in Athens, in the smart grids laboratory, and in Serbia, where CROSSBOW is interacting with a pump storage power plant. We are ensuring that the communication infrastructure, the protocols that are common, the TSOs, which we, as a vendor of the industrial automation solutions, we are familiar with, and we are a long-time partner of many of the TSOs in the region. We play the same role in Trinity as well, although that's the power plant operated by the KONCAR Renewables. Our role there is to maintain the IT infrastructure. So it's it's KONCAR produced and owned power plant. The softer part of the power plant, which is located in the south of Croatia, it has 17 turbines. 15 of those are 1 megawatt and 2 of those are 2.5. So altogether, we play a similar role in Trinity as well. So we are ensuring that the data that is produced at the wind power plant comes to ETRA systems and serves the purpose of Trinity. So in this regard, we really consider CROSSBOW and Trinity to be sister and brother projects.
For this product for renewables, for example, apart from KONCAR, which is quite active as providing feedback, also ICCS is providing technology, new forecasts, and for production, for demand, and also hoping in the future to have feedback from you, Ioannis, because we are developing issuing guarantees of origin platform with blockchain technologies. Yeah. And well, I think that you are one of the main experts of that.
Yeah, I was actually making some notes on this one. Yeah, I think one aspect that, let's say, relates all these projects together, I mean, Trinity, CROSSBOW, and XFlex is also blockchain technology, right? So in XFlex, we are going to use blockchain technology to set up the MarketFlex toolkit in a more decentralized manner, so that all market participants can trust each other and be able to operate in a trusted environment. Also on the Trinity side, as Álvaro mentioned, blockchain will also serve as the key tool for establishing this market of guarantees of origin. So from my experience in the blockchain energy sector, I think guarantees of origin is of high importance right now. It's a very, very hot topic. It's a hot topic both in Europe, but also in other geographies across the globe. So in Europe, I don't know if you are familiar with the market. You have the guarantees of origin. Its guarantee of origin is issued for 1 megawatt hour of energy produced by renewable means, and then you can trade those guarantees of origin also in a pan-European level, following the AIB, which is the Association of Issuance Bodies. But also there are marketplaces outside Europe that conform with the REC and the IREC standards. Yeah. REC stands for Renewable Energy Certificates. IREC stands for International Renewable Energy Certificates. These standards are quite common in Asia, North America, and South America as well. So I think the way that we are dealing in Trinity with blockchain technology and these guarantees of origin is very, very important, and will also generate also other opportunities in the near future in this hot topic. And also in the CROSSBOW project, we have also the flavor of blockchain technology for setting up such marketplaces, wholesale marketplaces. And especially for Trinity, it's this nice transition from CROSSBOW, where we have established this ARES control center, towards also adding this feature of guarantees of origin. So not only, let's say, managing the RES production in the connected countries, but also having in place some sort of proof of the origin of this renewable energy. Yeah, I think this is really important because it's state of the art. Even let's say more wider aspect is something that all markets and market participants are focusing upon right now.
Yeah, I also have to say that I'm really happy, and I'm looking forward to the solutions for guarantees of origin, especially to see it, resolved on the blockchain technology, as I have been involved in my previous job a lot with guarantees of origin. Actually, I was working at a Croatian energy market operator, which was issuing body for Croatia. So I'm familiar with all of this that you're now saying. So now as a producer, energy producer at KONCAR, I'm really looking forward to see seeing these technical solutions for combining everything, energy and guarantees of origin at one place to have everything ready for the market when operator needs it. So I'm really looking forward to see our solutions.
Great.
And true to the nature of Synergy project, sorry if I interrupt you, but true to nature of Synergy, which is a big data project, blockchain also participates there. You know, blockchain as a way of making an immutable record of transactions, it's logical to couple it to some kind of a contract or a guarantee or something like that. It's kind of a logical place to link it with. True to that, in Synergy projects, blockchain is included in the demand response contract monitoring, in the micro contracts. It's an area which is still a bit uncharted territory. There is many trust issues there that you have to trust the one you are providing flexibility to, that you will really be remunerated for that and so on. And true to the nature of the big data-ness of Synergy, it goes to a smaller transaction, of which there will be many, and that's also the topic that we brushed upon in Synergy as well.
Do you actually address the market participation in the ahead markets or in the markets of future or whatever?
Well, we do to an extent, but you have to, you know, it's focused on the technology platform to unlock the data. Basically, that's the focus of the project, is to make to all of this data that stands, let's be a bit more direct, stands unused. Now it's going to be unlocked in a secure and attractable manner. That's the idea of Synergy. It focuses principally on the data, so it does interact with the markets as well, although it's not the primary focus as it is in Trinity project. So it's maybe shifted a bit more to the data business, which it is a big data project. So the principal delivery of Synergy is a big data platform. So it will at some point use the market data, participate in the market, all of these activities that happen that will use the Synergy platform in the project are in a way exposed to the market. So in that regard, yes, but it's not the principal focus. There is actually something that's a market inside Synergy in a way. So the big data platform in itself is a marketplace for the data. So that's that. I may have not told it properly. So it is a market in itself. So it unlocks the data and breathes life into that. And then you can, as a consumer, purchase some of the data from the data provider and build a business on top of that. That's the idea.
Apart from technologies and common sector or actors, all these projects and all the projects of the Bridge Initiative are following same methodologies and not just technologies. And for example, one of the most relevant methodologies is the one related to the use cases and the SGAM architecture, which in fact is, if I remember well, I think that ICCS promoted the current way of defining use cases and the SGAM methodology. And this, I think that this has been the first project in which we worked with this was Novel Grid, and was being over Novel Grid, Wise Grid, Trinity, XFlex, and so on. So I think that you were one of the promoters. Why did you choose this methodology that now is being used by other bridge projects?
Nice point, Álvaro. I think, we were thinking with ETRA back in the Novel Grid era, quite a few years back, right? So what would be the most easy to follow and standardized approach? And then we came across this methodology, which was actually the output of the IntelliGrid project, I think. Later on, it was standardized as the IEC 61559-2, 62559-2 methodology, which provides a very concise and very easy to understand way of describing the use cases, right? So once you use this methodology for describing your use cases, you achieve that each and all of the participants in your project have the same understanding about each other's use cases. And then I think the second important aspect of using this specific methodology for the analysis of the use case, it creates the perfect segue in order to describe your use cases from a narrative way to a more, let's say, architectural developer-friendly approach. So by saying that, I'm referring to the smart grid architectural framework methodology, the SGAM methodology, which is heavily relies upon the use case analysis methodology that we discussed, because all the fields that you fill in the template of this use case methodology are, let's say, really easily depicted and addressed in the SGAM layers. So it's a very easy and friendly tool in order to move from a more narrative description of your use case to a more, let's say, a more developer-friendly description of the same use case. So I think it's a very important, and I think, Álvaro, we have used this in Noble Grid, Wise Grid, CROSSBOW, TRINITY, several other projects that we work together and with quite success.
Yeah, also in next we are using this methodology, and in fact it's the XFlex team, the one which is promoting this in Bridge and making all the developments. Even I think that they are developing a use case repository based on that methodology. So it has been demonstrated that it was quite useful over all these years.
And also, since I'm also supporting the Bridge Data Management Working Group, it's important to say that also part of this working group, a specific action that is led by your colleague Lola from ETRA, is focusing upon this, making this methodology that we use in Noble Grid in the beginning, the standard methodology for describing projects that participate in the grid, in the Bridge initiative, and create a repository of use cases described using the exact same methodology, so that once you want to define a new use case, not to reinvent the wheel, but let's say refer back to this repository and find in an easy and friendly way the use case, or if it's a new use case, add it to the repository as well.
I have to admit that we have gone through a transition regarding this methodology, because at the beginning in CROSSBOW, I think we have been, I would even say, a bit annoyed. Why does this methodology have to be this way? And then Morana will maybe not know that she's with us for a short time, so she knows we have changed from someone who is let's say, reluctant sufferer of the methodology. We are now a proponent and supporter. We are also having another project where we have the same path. We don't use this methodology, but naturally, over time, over a few months of project development, we have somehow created our own methodology, which is in line with this. This is logical. It gives you, I would say that it is kind of directing you in the right direction. You start with a narrative, you explain something nicely, so it is understandable, but only to you. It doesn't mean that it is understandable to your developers or to other developers. And although it does have the 5-number code of a standard, so it should be boring, it's actually very useful.
Apart from Bridge, I don't know if you have any internal meetings in your entity to discuss some aspects that maybe are similar or complementary.
Yeah, for example, in Trinity, we are in contact and in conversation with our sister project. We are just 2 projects in the same topic, and well, we cannot say a lot of information right now, but the conversations are progressing well, and probably in the next days or next weeks we will have more information to share.
Okay. We will wait.
In our case, all our projects are linked to the product that we have, our main line of business. So industrial automation, control solutions, and things that grow from that route, let's say. And we are actually using the same technology. In most cases, you have to get the data somehow. So it's the case also with Synergy as well. All this big data has to come from somewhere. And this is something that we usually do. And we actually use in in Trinity, especially. Trinity is a kind of a grounds for testing, because there is a lot of data that we use for testing of a new version of our tool, of our automation platform. We have a version of platform that runs the wind power park, and what links the park to Trinity, to the project, to the central server in Valencia. It's actually the new development version that we sometimes there are some glitches, as Álvaro already knows, but that's the way it goes. So yes, we do have synergies at a much more intensive way internally in the company and also across the project.
Here within our sector, we have our weekly meetings where we discuss all of our Horizon projects. So there is always place at time to ask questions and to get to know what others are doing, so to get the best of the synergy between the projects. So on our weekly basis, we are trying to keep up with it.
Okay.
Yeah, we kind of have this cross-cutting internal meetings because it's not a big team, so we like to keep the whole team informed. There is always use for cross-pollination of knowledge. That's always a good idea.
So thank you very much, Dan, for joining us today in this coffee break. It was a pleasure to have you all. And I hope we could collaborate in the future and keep safe. And I hope you see you soon in person.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.